All right, there you go. Thank you, sir. And as usual, I have a couple things I'd like to add to what Jim said. There were on-site 48 officers and volunteers. That's how big the operation was. It was 6 municipalities contributed police and equipment to do what they did. And if you would like to see video of the actual nullification of the checkpoint, it's on YouTube. Just Google Upper Moreland Suspicionless Checkpoint. Upper, as you think, Moreland, M-O-R-E-L-A-N-D, Suspicionless Checkpoint. And the video was taken by Darren Wolf, who's our international libertarian. Good job. Let's see, I guess what's today? Today is Saturday. 5 days ago, we had a Toastmasters speech contest that I entered, and the speech that I gave as my entry in the contest was about what goes on at these DUI checkpoints, these suspicionless checkpoints, and I won the speech contest. It's a 7-minute speech. Maybe later on, if you want, I can practice it, because I advance now to the next level. So on March 9th, Saturday, March 9th, I'll be presenting it to a wider audience, and if I win there on Friday, April 19th, I'll be doing an even wider audience, and if I win there, I'll be going to an even wider audience in early May. And they'll all hear about how heartless and unjust these checkpoints really are. Good stuff. It's all good stuff. These are libertarian solutions. 1 or 2 people say, hey, I'm going to do something, and they get up and they do it. And I love the way Jim puts it. It makes the difference between somebody going home to their family or going to jail. It just doesn't get more real than that. Sometimes, though, libertarian solutions can be a little more on the unusual side. And our next pair of speakers are going to highlight that. Now, I hadn't met them before today, and what I've seen so far, they're definitely an interesting pair. They are the hosts of the Panic Hour, which is a comedic podcast. Their forte is grassroots civil disobedience. They were referred to earlier because they're the ones who put together the Smoke Down Prohibition marijuana smokeout. Please join me in welcoming N.A. Poe and Steve Miller-Mille.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, everyone, thank you for having us. I want to thank Jim, who I met about 2 years ago when we were living in a tent, and Jim was handing out newspapers, and he's kind of become like a Tom Hagen for the Panic Hour, which is nice to have an advisor like that on our side. We're not libertarians, we're Anarco-Rastafarians, and that way of life has some things that we've learned from libertarians. I feel like we live in an age of laptop activism where people want to share memes and they want to talk on the internet and they want to speak within their groups about the things that are happening. Me and Steve are here to talk a little bit about how you can reach out and you can talk to the average person, because it's great that we can all like this shit out of everyone's Facebook statuses and we can spread our message in-house, but we have to remember that we have to get out from behind our laptops and into the streets. So Steve, tell us how we did that.
Well, we won. We don't win. We never win. We're the Panic Hour. We realized over time that you can't win by only influencing people who give a shit. Because not too many people give a shit. And the DUI checkpoint's a great example of that. The police are setting up a DUI checkpoint. Why do I give a fuck? I don't. I don't drive. You know, I'm a gutter faggot from North Philadelphia. I don't drive. I ride places. But alas, if there are cops in my neighborhood and they're just pulling over random people, I would want to know about that. And that's how you've sort of taken that as your own. And you don't need anything. As Jim was mentioning earlier, they did all that with $50. You don't need an organization. You don't need a title. You don't need shit. You need an idea, and you need to decide to stick to it. That's really all you need.
So we decided to go out and try to we're working in marijuana activism right now, and we went out and we decided to get as many people as we could to smoke at the Liberty Bell. The first one, we did 100 people, 700 people RSVP'd to it, then 100 people came out. And then the second one, 500 RSVP'd, and about 200 came out. So people are starting to see that if you want to go out and you want to break unjust laws, that you can, and that there will be no repercussions, and that's how you gain your freedom back. You know, people don't want to pay attention to what's really going on, and then we're going to turn around and there's going to be drone planes in the sky, and you're going to be getting your eye scanned to go into here, and we need to take the people in the middle and wake them up. I think you need to do that in a fun way. I think by getting people to go out and smoke marijuana. Jim said I was courageous. I said to Steve, hey, you know what, we got to keep doing this shit. If people are going to call us for courageous for going outside and smoking marijuana, this is the right line of work for us to be.
Right, and not only that, by that definition of courage, we're courageous about, I don't know, 15 times a week.
But I just do have a couple things that I'd like to say as far as outreach. I'm just going to drop this.
Yeah.
I really feel like cross-pollination is key. When we do marijuana things and I look and I see a bunch of TFP members at our events, it makes me feel great that like we're all starting to accomplish, go across different, crossing over each other and going to different things. That's why we should be going to places that aren't doing the things that we're doing, because it's like if TFP sets up at a Philly Normal thing, well, people that want pot legal might think that other of their freedoms are being infringed on. So meeting new people and trying those things out is great. I really think that we need to get into colleges. I love teenage girls and girls in their young 20s. So I think that we should start hitting more of a college campus scene, reaching out to young people. Remember the 60s, that all came out of young people. You guys are old, you're set in your ways, you have things that...
off the stage.
The first time I threw up the stage, brother. I got skin thicker than you'll ever imagine.
I threw him off stage.
But yeah, just moving beyond the idea of digital activism to being in the street and not having fear to be able to go out and do what you want to do. And if something isn't right, taking a direct action. We worked with a lot of anarchists at Occupy Philly doing direct action stuff. We took those tactics we learned from them and now we're applying them to soft activism like marijuana. Marijuana activists were sitting around and writing congressmen and not doing anything. We're like, look, let's take this to them. I think that we need to take that to them. In the spring, we're going to be working on a drone plane thing. I think the drone planes should be fucking banned. And cities are banning them. And you know what? We have to get together and we have to do these things. I didn't believe that you could change things within the system. Now I think on a local level, if we take our activist network and apply it to things that we think are wrong and then get a decent message to give the sheep so they understand where we're coming from and we don't seem insane, then we can go out into the streets and maybe change things on a local level. I don't want to see drone planes in the sky when I have children. I want to smoke marijuana openly, and it's my right to try to pursue both those things being realities in our world, because it would be a better place.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. We will now field your myriad questions. We'll start with Barricade Bad.
What is the difference between an Anarco-Rastafarian and a libertarian?
I don't know, you guys aren't really big on marijuana, but what I do like about libertarian...
All right, it's all a matter of scale. Compared to us, you guys aren't really into marijuana.
Yeah, but, and what I do like libertarian activism most of all is the idea that you guys support everything. You support the idea of freedom, so you don't have to necessarily believe in what's happening to support it. When I see guys like Jeff, well, you guys don't know Jeff, but I mean, I see guys at the smoke downs that don't smoke. You know, it's great because it's like you're just supporting the idea of this, and I feel like that's an amazing thing. And you know, I'm not big on guns, you know, but the thing is, if you want a fucking gun, I'm big on it for you, you know. And I feel like if we all support each other like that, then we can make some, you know, changes out in the world.
One recurring theme that I keep on hearing throughout people's speeches is that when they try something that involves unity, it tends to work, and that when they tend to do shit that involves division, showing that you're a better libertarian, you lose the most elections, whatever. Whenever you try to do something with division, those events tend to fail. So to the extent that we can work together on shit, you know, we should do it. And we should.
I got news for you guys. You're libertarians. Sorry. Sorry.
I feel like we're so post-politics in this country and the whole left-right bullshit thing that I feel like...
Plus we're felons and can't vote anyway.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
There's that.
Not true, you can.
In Pennsylvania.
Still voting?
Yeah, for us. I'm going to leave some stickers up on the table and some of our cards. If you guys, want to support the Panic Hour, we're out in the street. Oh, another thing I want to say real quick was, fuck the mainstream media. It doesn't even really exist. It's a fucking CIA-controlled thing, man. So when you're doing events and you're getting people out, contact as many people in the independent media as you possibly can to come out to your events. That's how things get viral online. That's how people check things out. And that's how they go, oh man, they're smoking marijuana to Libertyville. I want to be standing in front of 1,000 people in 2 months, and I want them all to be smoking fucking marijuana.
Yeah,
Steve.
right. I just want to say I don't smoke weed. Not because
Sorry.
of motivation or anything, but it's my own choice. It's all about your choice, your freedom to choose. And I was down there supporting.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, so you did a wonderful job at documenting the whole event. You actually got some of the best shots of the day on top of the
right
stone.
Right there on top of the First Amendment statue or whatever it is. You guys did a great job. When is the next one? Is it going to happen anytime soon?
The next one's going to be March 17th. That's not announced, but I mean, obviously I'll announce it to you guys.
You
and
just did.
Those two dudes.
Hey.
But it's going to be March 17th. It's going to be on St. Patrick's Day. It's going to be based around the idea that marijuana is safer than alcohol, because marijuana is safer than alcohol.
And it's green.
And it's green.
And it's green.
While the cops are racing their resources...
Unless you buy it in Philadelphia, in which case it can be brown.
But the cops will be wasting their resources on, drinking all around the city, and we're just going to give them another reason. Last thing I'll say before I leave, I think it was funny. The cops didn't come to our second smoke down, but I noticed one of the civil affairs officers, because I remembered her from being in Occupy Philly, and I said to her, hey, you're civil affairs, aren't you? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, where are you guys out today? She said, you didn't contact us to let us know that you were having this protest. And I said, well, I didn't know that we had to fucking tell the cops that we were going to come out and express our right to do whatever we want. So,
one thing we've been doing marijuana marches for years, and one thing that has always been a challenge for these folks that are organizing these marches is how to deal with the fact that people are invariably going to have marijuana at a marijuana march. And sometimes they say, oh, don't bring it, don't bring paraphernalia, this, that, and the other thing. And instead of trying to play this silly fucking dance where we're the organizers, but don't bring anything to the march of the thing we're trying to legalize. Instead of doing all that, we're just like, you know what, do it.
Now, if you believe in something, stand up for it. Get a group of people together to support you, and hit the streets. Get off your fucking computers. Get off your computer. Woo!
Further questions?
Yeah, I want to follow up on what Jim said. You guys definitely sound libertarian. I heard you're against the drones, and who wouldn't be. Certainly you're in favor of decriminalizing the drugs, and who wouldn't be. And I heard about ending the Fed.
Are you just trying to convince us that we're libertarians?
No,
you just convinced us.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, you're streaming now, and you've got all the backing of the Montgomery County Libertarian.
Oh shit.
Saying that these are libertarian solutions. Every word out of your mouth has been libertarian so far. I want to hear you talk about something else. Just say a sentence or two about anything else.
Well, then I'd like to replace Steve then, if I'm a libertarian. Is that okay? He's not listening. Yeah, I mean, we definitely, being comedians, it puts us in a decent position.
We don't vote, though, that's the thing, it just sucks.
None of us do. Are you crazy?
Being comedians and having so many friends in different groups of activism, we're very lucky because we've been able to build our own model of the way we see things without having, ideology. And I feel like ideology is keeps people apart. And by being just Anarco-Rastafarian libertarians, I'm just going to stop about that. Thank you so much, and hopefully we can see you guys all soon. Thank you.
Thank you much. Yep.
Thanks.